Hey there, good afternoon. Welcome to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I'm the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock, hard rock, heavy metal, and other forms of rock music. So, today is my Wednesday night favorites. And we have a fun show for you tonight as we're going to be tackling the Kiss solo albums. Yep, you know these albums. There's 4 of them, all released on September the 18th, 1978. By each member of the rock band Kiss. So what I'm doing is my top 10 favorite songs from those 4 solo albums. This was suggested to me by Ben or BP, a subscriber to my channel. I thought it was a great idea. I actually had this idea a long time ago, but was waiting for my albums to show up by my friend. He took 3 of them. He probably would have taken all 4, but this one was in the car. So it's been 5 years. He's had my albums for 4 years, 5 years almost. This one was in the car, so we didn't get to take this one. And this is actually my second copy of this Ace Frehley album. And it will probably be another one coming, as you can see the disc is missing. I think the disc ended up in the car, and the car got sold, and the disc is gone with it. And it's very unfortunate because it's one of my favorite albums to constantly put on the CD. One of my top 10 favorite albums of all time. So anyways, if you haven't seen these, the other 3 albums just feature each of the other 3 members. Ace here's in blue, pretty much. It's a portrait painted. So Ace here, Gene is in red, Paul's in purple, and then Peter Criss is in green. Now, when they first came out, I had expectations for all 4 of them, but especially was hoping to hear what Ace did and what Peter did, because Peter had the best voice of the 4 guys, I think. Although none of them had bad voices. Really, none of them have bad rock voices. They all have distinctive rock voices, and each one of them has something good about it. Not so much now because they're worn out and old, but at one time, Ace was my favorite band member, but he was always low-key, so I never really said too much about him. Now everybody, oh, Ace was my favorite, oh, Ace was my favorite, oh, Ace was my favorite. Well, if Ace was the favorite, why was Gene Simmons so popular? Like, why was 75%, whenever they do these polls back then, who's your favorite Kiss member, 75% of the people said Gene Simmons. Now everybody's coming out of the woodwork saying they hated Gene Simmons. Okay, well, whatever. I'm not going to argue about it. I didn't hate Gene Simmons then. I don't care for him much now. However, at that time period, I think his antics and the stuff he did on stage put Kiss on the map. And you can't take that away from him. And I'm not going to. So anyways, we're not here to discuss that. We're here to discuss these 4 solo albums and what my 10 favorite songs from the album are. I also added 6 more songs to my honorable mentions. So we'll start, as I normally do with these type of things, go from 10th or least favorite to first or most favorite. I also want to make it clear that these are just my personal favorites. A lot of them are more or less because of the memories they invoke of the time period they came out. Not so much about how I feel about them now or that, but pretty much but it's about how I feel about them now, but it's basically on how much memory they invoke in me, and these albums invoke a lot. And do I think they're the greatest rock albums of all time? No, but they were legendary at the time because nobody else had ever done anything like this. And to release 4 solo albums at the exact same time by one band, never been done. And the albums are legendary for that reason. So anyways, just so you know that these again are just my favorites. Doesn't mean they're the best songs on the album. Not the best put together songs, or not the best instrumental songs, or not the most popular songs. They're just my favorites. If you have favorites, that's great. Let me know what they are. Okay, so we'll start with number 10. And I apologize in advance. This is going to be a bit of a lopsided top 10 because obviously this is my favorite album of the four by a huge margin. I probably like it more than the other three combined. Okay, so anyways, we start out with Ozone from Ace Frehley, of course. Great tune, really spacey, heavy but spacey at the same time. Really, really cool track. The number 9, it comes from Peter Criss. Don't Let Me Down. I don't know why it was kind of a mushy song, and as almost all the stuff on his album is. His vocals are great, as they always are. He's got the best voice. Album was kind of mushy, but I didn't mind this song. I'm not sure why. I found it catchy, and I always liked it the best on the album. I still like it the best on the album. So number 8 comes from Paul's solo album, Paul Stanley. Goodbye, the last track on the album. I don't know, there's something about Paul's voice on this I think is very good. Yes, Peter Criss is to me the best rock vocalist, but Paul I think has the best voice overall. If you were just to go on pure talent voice wise, I think he's got that. But Peter has the best rock sounding kind of rhythm and bluesy voice of all of them. But this song is really good. Goodbye. Love it a lot. Okay, coming up one is the only instrumental on here, and I think it's the only instrumental on any of the 4 albums. It's called Fractured Mirror by Ace Frehley. It's just absolutely emotionally gripping, fantastic tune. Used to turn the lights out and just lay there in the dark listening to this song all the time. Fantastic song. I don't think it's necessarily a great headphone song, but it's just kind of so emotional, a forlorn type sound to it. And it's not just my favorite instrumental of these guys. It's just my favorite instrumental of a lot of stuff. There's not very few instrumentals that are ahead of it. Okay, number 6 comes from Paul Stanley. Love in Chains. Yeah, heavy song, pretty heavy for Paul Stanley. It's pretty heavy. Good vocals to it. I love the guitar riffing in it. I think it's a classic Kiss song. Could have been on Dynasty or anything. It's funny, his sound on these solo albums almost transmit it perfectly to their Dynasty album, because the 3 songs he put on the Dynasty album could have fit on this album and they could have versed around, right? Great song, Love in Chains. Number 5 from Ace Frehley again, Snowblind. Just love that heavy such a classic Ace sound. I really love his vocals on this song. I just think this song is so good. Okay, we move up to number 4, another Paul song. I know some of you are going, where the hell's Gene? Well, you'll see soon enough, I guess. Wouldn't You Like to Know Me, Paul. That's the best song from his album. I love it. It's heavy, it's pacing, it again, another song that could easily have gone on to Dynasty or Unmasked if you prefer. So the next song up is your first Gene and only Gene on this, and it's not that I don't like the other songs, it's just that somebody has to go on and somebody can't go on. And See You Tonight, I love this song. It's got that Beatle flavor to it, really Beatle-y, I think, and Gene's voice is perfect on here. I think his voice was quite good on these solo albums. Like most of the songs he sounds really good on, so See You Tonight, number 3. The top 2 are both from Ace. There was never going to be any doubt that the top one was going to be the top one, but this next one just edged out Gene slightly here. What's on Your Mind from the Ace Frehley solo album. Great song. I love it. It's got some really good drums, some fantastic guitar parts, and just pounds along, terrific song. And now we get to the number 1, And was there ever going to be a doubt? This song is not only number one, it's probably the best song of all of them put together. And that's Rip It Out. Just such a classic song. I never weary of this song. I can listen to it. I love when I used to get in my car and I put this disc in and I would just crank it right to the top and put this song on. Rip It Out. Such a classic. Ace's guitar solo on this is legendary to me. I think Anton Fig is fantastic on the drums here. Yeah, Rip It Out. Gotta have that song in my top. Wherever I'm doing a song on a top 10 list where this song would qualify, it's going to be on that list, no doubt about it. So Rip It Out from Ace Frehley. So there you have it, my top 10 favorite songs from the Kiss solo albums. The four of them, not the ones that they made on their own, but the four that were under the Kiss label. So I'll reiterate them from top to bottom this time and then give you my honorables. Rip It Out by Ace Frehley. What's on Your Mind by Ace Frehley. See You Tonight by Gene Simmons. Wouldn't You Like to Know Me from Paul Stanley. Snowblind from Ace Frehley. Love in Chains from Paul Stanley. Fractured Mirror from Ace Frehley. Goodbye from Paul Stanley. Don't Let Me Down from Peter Criss. And Ozone from Ace Frehley. So Ace starts it out and ends it out and finishes in the middle too. Yeah, pretty dominant album. Can't go bad. If you ever want to buy it, I guess if you're looking for the first Kiss solo album to buy, I recommend this one. But you won't go wrong. The others are all okay too. If you're looking for harder stuff, I'd steer clear of the Peter Criss a bit though. Okay, so my honorable mentions go to, from the Ace Frehley album, New York Groove. I could have put the other three on too, but I don't want to overkill it. Man of a Thousand Faces and Mr. Make Believe, both from Gene's album, sorry. Ain't Quite Right from the Paul Stanley album. And then You Matter to Me and I Can't Stop the Rain from Peter Criss's solo. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. I enjoyed doing this video. It was kind of fun. Looking back at these solo albums, I wished I had the other three with me, but I think I'll be waiting a long time. I may never get them, so I might have to go and buy them again. I guess we'll find out. Anyways, I hope you liked the show. So from Prog Monster, you have a great Wednesday evening. Good night.